Okay, round five. What is the American Union? A large group of members or a network of groups? I have it. I am working out to be able to still get what I want within the framework that you've set up, which is to have the umbrella. So what I'm doing is I'm working on the newsletter.
Okay.
So that's my way of connecting. And I really got in touch with tonight that what I want a place to belong. I want to belong to the union. I want to belong to something bigger than me. I want to belong to something that's going to make a difference. I want to be in a space where I'm around people that I know I can trust and work and we're all focused in the same direction.
I guess I don't really understand what you see as the distinction between a network and a union.
A union is, I say, I'm a dues paying member of the union.
Mm-hmm.
And the network says, I'm a group to myself, there's a bigger network. And I'm disconnected from the rest of the people because I'm back in my silo.
But your silo's in the big silo, the union silo.
Okay, that's why I'm hoping if I write this newsletter that will make me feel more connected because I really don't necessarily.
I guess I'm not understanding what you're seeing as the distinction. There's 50 different policies in this package. Everybody has different issues that are important to them. And you're not supposed, nobody's expected to be passionate about all of them. So that's why what I'm trying to understand, TC, is you picture the union as a group of people who are passionate about all 50 issues? Because I don't, that's what I don't understand.
No, if not separate issues. I want people to be excited about the package.
Right, but within that package, are things that you care more, that are more important to you than other parts of it.
That may be true, but that's not what I'm rallying around.
Can I ask you, like, how do you view political parties, say the Democratic Party, right? Or some people care about immigration reform, some people care about gun control, some people care about, abortion, all those different issues. So do you see the Democratic Party as a network where they bring together these essentially unrelated issues under one umbrella? Or do you see the Democrats as being a union where you're part of a community?
No, you're not part of a community in the Democratic Party. It's a pecking order. It's like you work your way up in power in the party. And if you're not willing to work within that system, you're basically ignored. That's that could be completely wrong, but you asked me how I see it, and
So that's a pretty apt description of the Democratic Party.
I just think, as Roosevelt said, that the purpose of political parties is to make government better for the people, but at that task, they have severely failed. And they have become the tools of an invisible government that sits behind the government that we see. And the duty of the people, the first duty of the people is to dismantle that invisible government, which is basically, we could call it money. People that have money create that invisible government because they just have laws passed to benefit themselves. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that that's how it's working right now.
So I'm kind of where Brian is. I don't understand your statement, the one that you just read from the agenda.
Okay, are we a network or are we a union?
Seems to me a network is where you have a bunch of different organizations that are linked. whereas a union is comprised of individuals.
that are focused on one single issue, which is the blueprint for a better America.
In this case, yes.
In this case, this is something worth fighting for. The blueprint for a better America, whether you agree with all of it or not, doesn't matter. If you're open-minded and you look at it, you realize it's a better place for America to start from than where we are now. So I want to be part of a bigger group that's fighting for this. And
You want to be part of a union, which is like individuals who are members of the
right.
union.
And then- okay, and now I get it. Here, I'm willing to do this. I can say Union 742 is the certain particular union. In other words, I'm willing to have then, once we have a union and there's enough people that we have, then people want to create groups as separate Union Hall number 772 or whatever, the people in North Carolina, or, you know, Union, whatever, the people in East Tennessee or whatever, these different groups. But that means that you've already got the people together. They've come together, they've gelled, they've agreed to this similar goal. And even though they break into smaller groups, they're still focused on the same thing, which is to get the blueprint passed.
Again, I guess, so what do you see as like the distinction between that and the Democratic Party? Where, you know, even though people in different parts of the country or have different issues and things like that, but they all have adopted this higher goal of electing Democrats. And I'm just picking Democrats, could be Republican, but,
Right.
but that same sort of
I
thing.
think the difference is the amount of education and consciousness involved. To vote Democrat, blue, no matter who, is a real kind of a weak-minded way to go about politics. And so I think that to become part of a union means that I'm an active member, that I have responsibilities within this union to show up and carry my weight. So I no longer can just vote blue no matter who, to work together within the group to come up with the best strategy for moving this forward. I understand why the network was the best option to take, because it will encompass, if we get big, then the network will be a good deal. I just want to feel like
You know, people have different issues in different parts of this that they're passionate about. And so that then, you know, if you're passionate about criminal justice reform, great, go out and persuade people that, you know, that the best way to get your criminal justice reforms passed is as part of a union. Ditto for UBI and ditto for the peace action folks.
So I'll just do this. Eddie, we were talking about what is the difference between a network and a union in terms of people coming together to support the blueprint for a better America. Is it a network where you would have different groups focused on different parts of the blueprint, working together on those particular individual parts? Or would you have a singular focus that the idea is, I want a new start for America, and I see the blueprint for a better America as a starting point for a better America. And I want to rally around that instead of any one particular issue.
Seems to me that in the beginning, when we're just building this American Union, we have what, I don't know, several hundred members, whatever. It's really tiny. We want to be bringing in more people. We're building a union in your definition of things. But if once we get to a certain size, this is kind of what you said before, then the focus becomes working for all of the elements of the blueprint. Those are individual elements. So, if you're going to do anything for ending poverty, you have to focus on that. You can't also be focused on everything else.
Okay, I see both. I just saw it. It can be both. It is both. It has that overriding goal of a new beginning, and it has the elements of people need to focus on what's important to them. I think I just got clear that I want what's important to me is the whole package. Getting people to agree that we're going to do the whole package, but we can each work on our own passion as we go along.
Yeah, and so we agree to support. If you're interested in keeping people, bringing people out of poverty, and somebody else's focus is ending mass incarceration, we agree to support each other, but we can't all put all of our focus on both. You have to focus on one in order to be effective. Anyway.
Maybe you could say that UBI does tie into ending mass incarceration, because part of the problem with mass incarceration is people don't have a way to start out when they're released.
Well, yeah, they do all tie in together. Everything ties in together at some point.
Yesterday, I was asked, why do you do this? And I said, I believe in it. I think it's the right thing to do. I think that somebody's got to stand up and say, wait, let's try this, because what we're doing is not working. So let's try true people power. I think we're done with round 5. I think it's both.